2013, Capcom and Ninja Theory would release the highly controversial DMC Devil May Cry. I've made a full-length review on that game. If you want to go see it and get my full thoughts on it, go watch that and come back to this video. Up until 2018, the only thing related to the DMC franchise that were released or talked about were the two special editions of the previous two titles. Finally, after years and rumors and so-called leaks, at E3 2018, Devil May Cry 5 would be officially announced. Now, the hype for this game was insane. Finally, we were going back to the original series after the reboot that was kind of, I like it, I don't like it, it was divisive at best. So, the fateful day would come on March 8th of 2019, releasing on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. DMC was officially back. When I posted my DMC 3 review, I said this: Devil May Cry 3, in my opinion, is the best DMC game. When I made that video, I hadn't played DMC 5 in about 2 or 3 years, and after going through the game twice, I have changed my stance on that. I think that DMC 5 is the overall best Devil May Cry game. And no, it's not because it's the most recent title. I think in terms of the gameplay, it has the most fluid next to the reboot. I actually like playing as Nero in this game, whereas in 4, I just felt he was alright. Nero has this new mechanic called the Devil Breaker, a robotic arm that places his Devil Bringer. In the game's story, Nero has his arm ripped off by Virgil, who the announcement trailer definitely didn't spoil. And there's various types of these Devil Breakers, with some being DLC. When this game came out back in 2019, I got it and actually bought all of the DLC, and I think it's actually really cool that you can use the Mega Buster. This is the definition of perfect DLC. Nero here is fun to combo with. He keeps the same moves from DMC 4, but I oddly enjoy him more in this game, and I found myself taunting a lot more with Nero, and there's a reason for this. If you get to B rank on style and you taunt as Nero, he can pull his hood up, and as long as you don't get hit, his hood will stay up. I never knew you could do this. I thought for the longest time this was just simply a PC mod. We've already talked about Nero, and let's talk about some of the other characters. V is the new character Devil May Cry 5, and he's actually really fun to play with. When I first played this game back in its release, I didn't like V. I thought he was boring, but now that I actually understand the way his gameplay works and how his summons work, I really enjoy how V plays. He's the easiest character to get S ranks, so I mean, I think a lot of his missions are S or double S rank because he's the easiest character to get S ranks with. I like how it's a callback to DMC 1 because the summons are the bosses from that game, and Griffin, Shadow, and Nightmare. And Nightmare kicks all the ass. Now, V still needs to kill demons by meleeing them because his summons can't do it themselves. But I don't think this takes away from the gameplay, I think it adds more to it. V is a fun character, and while I definitely prefer the other two, I don't mind playing as V. I like a lot of his missions. And then there's Dante. Dante is really, really enjoyable in every game minus one that we will not discuss. He starts the game with the basics, a sword, his 2 iconic pistols, and a shotgun. And later he gets a bunch of ridiculous devil arms, like a usable motorcycle. According to Itsuno, the idea of a usable motorcycle has been around since DMC 2's development. They also bring back the Cerberus weapon from DMC 3, but now with 3 different forms. There's also a hat named Dr. Faust that literally uses red orbs to do damage. It's the literal definition of pay to win.
I'll take that.
Once again, Dante keeps his on-the-fly weapon and style switching from Devil May Cry 4, and it's really good here. But also, there's something funny this game has. This game has a lot of extra colors for the characters. They put the reboot colors in DMC5, which is just hilarious. I've used it a handful of times. They did it in DMC4 SE, but I didn't have it unlocked, so I couldn't show it. Now, before we talk about the story, I want to talk about one other character. Holy shit, Vergil kicks ass. At the time of recording, I am working on a playthrough on Son of Sparta with Vergil. So far, so good. I have died a few times, but this game gives out gold orbs like candy on Halloween. You simply get gold orbs by just logging into the game every day. For the first time in the series, items are cut. Holy water and the various devil and vital stars are cut from the game. The only items in the game are the gold, blue, and red orbs. Which, I mean, thankfully this game isn't that difficult, but this just means you can't sit there and spam holy waters. Now, on to the story. It's really good. Without spoiling every detail and kind of just skimming through it, it's a really well-written story. It stars Nero literally getting his arm ripped off and his quest for revenge. The main big bad here is a demon named Urizen, who is literally Vergil's full demon half. See, Vergil needed Nero's arm because in DMC4, Nero found Yamato, and Vergil ends up stabbing himself, and we get V, who is weak and frail, and Urizen, which is Vergil's full demonic half. The game actually opens and drops you into his boss fight, but you aren't supposed to beat it, so don't worry. You can, and it's possible, but it's not a requirement. There's this tree growing that feeds on human blood. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it or spell it correctly, because I couldn't, but the main cast can't have all that. During missions in the game, you will see this little emblem that says starring. This game has some online deal going on where two characters' missions will actually bleed into each other. It's not full-on co-op, it's random as hell, but I think in DMC6, if they brought on some more online features, it would be really cool, actually. The whole cast is back, including the side characters Trish and Lady, and how does she look younger here than she did in DMC3? I'm not complaining, it's just an observation. There's also Nico, a gunsmith who actually builds Nero's cyborg arms. Her RV acts as like the divine statues in this game, but you can still find the statues in roaming about. The game's story is really well done, like I said, and it finally confirms something that was heavily rumored for 11 years up to this point. After Dante fights Urizen, V does the final blow and it fully resurrects Vergil. See, for the entire game, Dante has tried to keep Nero away from this entire conflict, and he finally tells him why.
Go home, Nero. This doesn't concern you.
Like hell. I lost my right arm because of him!
This is not your fight. I need to stop him, and that's all that matters.
I'm not gonna let you have all the fun, Dante!
You don't get it.
Let me guess. I'm dead weight? Well, you can
That's
shove
not
it up.
it, Nero.
What is it then?
He's your father!
What?
I had the feeling the first time I saw you, but I just wasn't sure. And then I saw how the Yamato reacted. And I was certain. He's your father. Now he needs an ass kicking. But I can't have you go kill your old man.
Dante goes to fight Vergil, and I'm sure you're getting sick and tired of hearing this, but in my opinion, he's once again the best boss in the game. He's at least the one I had the most fun against. A lot of the bosses weren't too challenging, but like I said, that this game gives out gold orbs like candy, so I was able to beat them all first try. The second boss, in my opinion, would be Goliath, only because you can do shit like this with Nero. All in all, Vergil's boss fight is good, and they actually did it this time. See, when you play as Vergil and get to this mission, instead of a red-colored Vergil, you actually fight Dante this time. I haven't gotten to this part yet, but I'm very excited to. after defeating Virgil, Nero joins the fight, and he pulls some anime bullshit and regrows his normal arm and gets a full Devil Trigger. You gotta love this series. Nero fights Virgil, and it's nice to face Virgil with Nero considering the different moveset. You have an epic boss battle. Nero wins, and Dante and Virgil go to the Demon Realm to sever the tree roots. Devil May Cry 5, in my opinion, is the best DMC game. Now, after I wrap up this entire series deal, I might make a ranking video. Spoiler alert, DMC 2 is going to be dead last. But I cannot recommend this game enough. If you've never played it, please do. You won't regret it. And I might even get into controversial territory, but I'd say this is a perfect game. Meaning that the final verdict for DMC 5 is a 10 out of 10. Maybe a little too high on your list, that's fine. We're all just sharing our opinions here. I think this game is perfect. Maybe you don't, but hey. Alright, one more game. Next time, we're going to cover the first Devil May Cry. And before you comment, I'm skipping DMC 2 on purpose because I really don't want to suffer through that game. Just know that game sucks. You could easily skip it and still figure out the story because of how the timeline works out. So yeah, next time on the channel, we're going to talk about Devil May Cry 1. I'll see you there.